today, we might get a couple songs out of them. We never know what the artist is going to do. But first off, I got to talk to you out there and say thank you to each one of you checking out the No Cover TV podcast. From all the audio shows that are on Spotify, which are now on YouTube, you can check them out. Plus all these great video shows we do. It's just like back in the TV days when we were on TV. We just get crazy, and I don't edit, so whatever happens, happens. It's a great thing. Oh, yeah, definitely. Check out the future shows. We got a lot of great artists and bands coming up from around the world, all genres and different age groups. We even got an 11-year-old ukulele player coming in. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And you know what I'm going to say next, people? You do. And it gets repetitive. My three favorite words are support, support, support. Support these artists. Go to their shows. Pay a cover charge if there is one. Get to that swag table. Buy the CD, an album, a t-shirt, a hoodie, a coffee mug, a bumper sticker, keychain. Oh, my, it goes on. It really does. Get to the stage and have a good time and enjoy that show. See if you can stay afterwards. See if you can meet these artists and get an autograph if possible. You just never know where they're headed. And remember, these artists love doing what they're doing to put a smile on your face. In return, your smile kicks right back to these artists and puts a big smile on their face. It's a great thing. Rock and roll and music makes the world go around. It's a happy thing. In the house, Dave Christian, all the way from Texas, is in the house. How you doing, my friend?
How you doing, Big Al?
I'm doing great.
Good to be here.
Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it on this Saturday. Yes. So you're down in the Dallas area, Texas area there?
Based out of DFW, but I've been doing quite a bit of routing around Texas here lately.
Okay. Could you do me a favor and send me some of that warm weather? Because I'm up in Michigan here and it's getting cold.
Yeah, well, it's starting to cool off a little bit here. We've took our time about cooling off here. Yeah, it's been hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I've been to Texas many times. There's a lot of hot zones, definitely, especially when you get to the desert end of the Texas. Oh, yes.
hmm
So we're going to have a great time, Dave. We got a lot to chat about. You're doing some wonderful things with your music. Dave here is a Texas American singer-songwriter. You are amazing. I've been checking out the music. I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm hearing,
Well,
brother.
thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah,
It's
a
great.
lot of us have got a great guitar player and producer now. So he's really doing some fabulous things with my stuff. So.
Good. We'll talk about him in just a few minutes and stuff like that in your music. But everybody out there knows, and I don't know if you've ever checked out the interview, but I want to get in your head if I can for a little bit and see what's up there. Can I do that?
Sure, sure.
All right, let's find a way into Dave's mind. Let's get in there. All right, Dave, I'm going to take you in the past. We're going way back, way back. I'm going to take you to when you're around 8 to 10 years old. That's when we're listening to what our parents are listening to, siblings, and what you're listening to on a record player or the radio. We're starting to develop
Mhm.
what we like, what we want to listen to. What was
Uh-huh.
Dave like, and what were you liking and listening to at that age?
Well, I actually don't recall that far back what I was listening to. I'm sure it was just AM radio, so
Hey,
it was
oh,
pop
yeah.
music. Yeah. It was about 9 years old when I got my very first guitar. Um,
Nice.
and I took lessons with my dad for a little while. He didn't last very long, but and then from then, the lessons fizzled out, and I just kept playing and teaching myself. It
Okay.
was about 9 years old when I started. I was fascinated with guitar, and not sure what got me onto it, but I just love the guitar.
Okay. Now, okay, so let's say we're young teens here. What were you listening to music wise?
Oh, the Led Zeppelin and the Crosby,
Oh,
Stills and Nash and the Black Sabbath and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, my favorite right here, Deep Purple. Oh,
oh
yes.
yeah, lots of Deep Purple, lots of Deep Purple. Yeah, my very first concert was Humble Pie,
Oh, no.
Freddie King, Freddie King and Foghat. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's great. Those are the days, my friend. We got to see a lot of great shows back then, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So you picked up the guitar at 9, but when did you really kind of master it a little bit?
Well, um, I guess all through my high school days, I played along to to BB King records and Eric Clapton records and Peter Green records.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't do any homework. I would just come home from school and play my electric guitar, play lead along with those records. And sometimes my dad would pull in the driveway, and sometimes he'd make it all the way to the bedroom door and beat on it. And sometimes I'd really pull up and I'd stop before he got to my door. But that was pretty much every single day. But
Uh,
but
That's funny. My mother was the same way. I knew she was coming. I was like, turn the amp off, put things down, or I'm going to get my butt kicked really bad. So, okay, great. So now you listen to all those, great bands back then. Did you think when you had a guitar at that age, 15, 16, that this is something you might want to do when you get older? Play music?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The younger you are, the bigger the stars in your eyes are. Sure,
Yeah,
sure. I mean,
okay, sure.
once you put some years in, you realize what a tough thing is and how many thousands and thousands of people there are that you're competing with constantly. But oh yeah, yeah. I never was the greatest guitar player, never was the greatest singer, so I really had to really work really hard at practicing and honing my craft. To get where I am today. I think so.
Okay, okay. Well, yeah, definitely. So now we hit the age of 18. Life slaps us in the face. We got to go to work. We get married, go to college, whatever. As life went on, did you continue to pick up the guitar and play, or did I just kind of move through life and do the things we do and then pick it up at a later date?
Well, I piddled through my teens, but in my mid 20s, that's when I started playing a lot, putting bands together, and playing quite a bit.
Okay,
And but then then I kind of got put on hold because um, it was I was in my 30s when my son was born.
okay,
And so I ended up very, very involved in my son. I ended up with full custody of my son. I mean, I was a little league coach. I was a little league president. I was, I ran. I was a cub master. I was a den leader. I had full custody of my son. So there was a lot of years there that my best young years, maybe I should have been touring. I should have been working really hard at it, but I was working raising my son. So that kind of um, my path has been a little bit different that way. That I kind of had the middle there was very, very busy. I still did music and I
okay.
still played, but it um, I wasn't working really hard at it. I was just kind of going along and playing lead guitar in bands and things like that and stuff. And it wasn't really focused really on my art.
Okay,
So
okay, understandable, definitely. Now, when did you start working on just your art? What year or how long ago was that? When you just started, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it my way and my songs.
well, that's kind of started after I got divorced and the son, um, but lately I've just rebranded myself, and just in the last
Okay,
few years I've rebranded myself with my name and kind of dropped the band names, and now I'm just using my name and really really focused on my art and my songwriting and stuff. So yeah, it's coming around late. It's a full cycle thing, but
definitely.
but but now I've got all the experience and I've got a lot of things on my side. And one of the things is that I you have to do the business side, and that's one thing I never did. Is I just went along playing music and doing bands and running bands and playing lead guitar and things like that, and didn't really take care of the business side. I mean, I thought I did because I would always advertise my bands and do the
Sure.
flyers and all that stuff, but now I'm on a whole new business level here of really working the business side
Okay.
and sending it to distributors. That's how you found me. You probably got an email from me, and and all that kind of stuff. So that's really really important. If you're going to be in the music business, you got to do the business side. You can't just
You
sit and
have to
wait.
know it. No, they're
Yeah.
not going to come knocking on your door. You got to kind of knock on their door a little bit. Oh yeah. Now
Did you-
let me ask. Let me ask you. We're probably about the same age. What do you think about back then when we had to pop the trunk and sell cassettes and put posters on the poles? compared to now, where we just push a couple buttons and the music's all over the world? What do you think of that?
Well, it is a great opportunity now
Mm,
with everything is connected
all right.
electronically to the internet. Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
the exposure is magnificent. But then also you have, on the other hand of that, you've got 120,000 new songs every day being posted on Spotify. So everybody and their brother is in their bedroom with a drum machine,
Yes.
making music too. So there's good things about it, and there's bad things about it. So
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of people out there, like you say, they put the drum machine and backing tracks, and they sing and they maybe adjust their vocals, and they try to sound good when they really never put the time or effort into it, like we have for over 40, 50 years. You
right,
know,
right, right.
definitely. So it's work to get to where we have gotten, my friend. All right, let's move up a little bit here now. You listen to Zeppelin and Deep Purple and all that stuff, but you're a country artist, my friend. Now, how did that work?
Well, I'm not really a country artist. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe you hear country in there, but I tried to get. I call myself Americana because that includes country and blues and folk and rock.
rock.
Now,
Yeah.
no matter how hard I try to be country, I just don't have the country mentality. It always comes out more like Eagles. But I try to put. I try to put country in there, and I respect the country thing, but I certainly don't like the formula country stuff. The gimmick songs. I stay as far away as I can from that country gimmick stuff, and that's a lot of the country stuff is very very gimmick nowadays. And
Oh,
I like writing songs about real stuff. So my influences. I tell you, I have three main songwriting influences. You know,
okay.
Bob Dylan,
I'm
Bob
doing.
Dylan,
Oh, yeah.
and Bob Dylan.
There you
Okay.
go.
Now Leonard Cohen and John Lennon are in there somewhere, but that's where my stuff comes from. Is I try to write songs about the real human experience. I'm not trying to make up stuff. Gimmick stuff. Just little tricky little things that sound clever. That's not really what I try to do. I try to dig into the real human experience.
Yeah, and I was listening to your music, it's real. I mean, it's definitely you got a story to tell in each song. Oh yeah, it's great. So now let's move up. Now you started your project and stuff, and you've got a lot of great songs out there. But do when you're playing out a lot, I see, aren't you?
Oh, I am. Yes. Yeah. Most of my
Oh,
gigs nowadays are just duo. It's
okay.
harder and harder to get the full band out there. I have great musicians that I can do the full band, and we do full band every once in a while. But most of my gigs are just I played just last night with my guitar player, just duo. I play acoustic and sing, and he plays his electric guitar. He's fabulous. He's Rochester, New York Hall of Fame caliber. Ex Mercury Records guy. Is just a great guy. So melodic, so tasteful. So just everything is just. I really enjoy playing with him,
Well,
and
good.
so most of my gigs are just duo.
Okay, because I was looking, it seems like you're out every weekend, which is good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Now, are you doing mostly smaller venues, or are you able to do festivals, bigger stages?
Well, I'm trying to work those in. I'm trying to, most of the things I do are smaller venues, and listening rooms and music clubs I just got to doing a little stint through Abilene, and so one of the venues was a larger venue, but I still just played it solo.
There
Um,
you
you know, but working on that stuff, and I'm doing as much traveling and much routing out in the different areas, Tulingua area, and the Houston area, the Conroe area, and the
go. Oh,
Corpus Christi area, and the Abilene area, and so I'm running around trying to do as much as I can, getting
yeah.
getting my music out there around the state.
Well, good. Now, is there plans for Dave to get out of the state and maybe do a few states around Texas?
Well, I've been through Memphis. I go through Memphis and I play a place down in South Main Sounds on downtown Main Street where he's the president of the Memphis Songwriter Association. So I go play at his place, and it's a great little place. I mean, he's had some great people through his venue, and I've done some things in Nashville. I'm not really crazy about Nashville. Nashville's like Nash Vegas. I've got
Right.
a
Yeah, I got you there. I agree.
it's a real few out there. I just really, I just never had a desire to really delve into the Nashville thing and do the Nashville thing. But I have some friends there that I go through and play through there because my dad's out in Tennessee. So,
Oh,
um,
okay.
so just Texas and Tennessee really so far is the two states that I've really been working.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm looking around. I see you got quite a few fans that love what you're doing. What do you think of that? And they're all over.
Well, yeah, yeah, it's nice. I've got quite a few internet radio stations and stuff that play my stuff all over the world. In the Netherlands and Australia and all over the place. So it's nice that they pick that up and they play it around there. That's another cool thing about the electronic. Everybody being connected electronically
Right.
nowadays is that I can get my music out there in other countries in different parts of the world that you normally couldn't have done that back in the
No,
early days.
it was very hard. It was very hard back then. Now,
Yeah.
you've got a new EP coming out, don't you? Or did it already come out?
Well, the EP I did, the last thing I released was I released "Be Right Here," another song since my EP. I did their EP in Interlingua, and I did it
Oh,
in the Ghost Town Church. And actually, I got married that day in the
wow.
Ghost.
Wow.
And I don't know if you've heard the Don Pedro song, but that's some real Texas history.
I
And
did.
you heard that, okay? And Scott that did the spaghetti western lead in that. Yeah, he's the guy that married us. He was on the session, and
Oh,
he did
wow.
all the bass on the session and did the guitar. That was the most phenomenal guitar lead I've ever seen. He grabs the guitar key and wow, turns it down,
Wow.
and then
Oh, yeah. Drop key.
grabs the guitar key and turns it back up. It's really phenomenal. But that song Don Pedro, that's about a real Texas guy. He was a healer that came over in the 1880s, uh,
Okay.
and uh, and healed hundreds of people. And he was just, I don't know why he's not more well known, because it's a really interesting story. I found this guy and I messed around with trying to write a song and maybe look for co-writers and stuff to put that thing together. And finally, I put it together. But of course, Dawn helped me out on that because the whole song is written in the fifth mode of the harmonic minor scale. So I was throwing some wrong chords in there. I had, he straightened me out, make sure I
Okay.
was stayed in that mode. I was
Right.
trying to do chords in there that didn't fit that mode. So he's a co-writer on that one, and
Nice.
but
Well, that's
but one thing really cool about that song, he's a healer. I had this little shrine set up when we did the
cool.
thing in
Oh,
the church, and
cool.
at the end of the song, if you listen carefully, the wind in the desert picks up and rings the church bell. You hear it,
Oh,
boom. At the end
that's
of the
what it
song,
was.
it's in the recording. The wind of the desert picks up and rings the church bell right at the end of the song. So
That's
that was a real
cool.
thing that happened. And I think Don Pedro
He
might
was
have been
there.
listening.
Yeah,
Hey, I
Don
like
was.
it. I like it. I like
He was there.
it.
I mean, that was the last song that I just listened to, and it's like it's a story. I can't really say it's a song because it's a story with music.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
it's a real story about a historical character. Yeah, it's a real song
it
about,
was.
I mean,
It was like
I
I was. I was like I was in history. It was great.
well,
That
when I
was
was approaching, I was trying to approach it like kind of like Dylan did when he wrote the Hurricane song about the fighter. He actually went to the prison and sat and talked to that guy when he before he wrote that song and stuff. So that was what I was kind of going for, was writing a real song about a real historical character that might be a classic.
oh
So.
great. Well, I'm glad you did that because I loved it. I really loved that piece. That was great there. So, let's see. We're 19 minutes in. Dave, you think we might be able to get a song out of you, my friend?
Sure, sure. I'll
Yeah.
uh, I'll do one of the songs I did in the Terlingua session. It's the
All right,
one
that'd
that
be
I
great,
sang in
Dave.
the ceremony because we got married that day, and
Okay.
the church bell rang at the end of this song too. It's not as prominent, but it did the same thing on this song. At the end of this song, it's a love song I wrote for my wife, and
Okay.
at the end of the song. the wind picks up and boom, rings the church bell. So,
Don's around, man. Here's Dave
yeah,
Christian. This is going to be great.
let's see here.
Oh, we got the harmonica coming on. Oh, yeah. I like
Yeah, we'll get
this.
a.
I like this.
Okay, so now we got to get the mouth organ
You got
going
to
on
have
this
the
one.
harp. You got to have the harp.
Okay, so this is called "I'm Yours Tonight," and this is kind of, I kind of consider this my current masterpiece. I think, because I think it's
Okay.
just. But I'm yours tonight. It's a beautiful night, beautiful one I adore. Somewhere between midnight and a dream, we found what we're looking for. I'm yours tonight, feeling alright. I know where I'm meant to be. I'll be the one shines like the sun. You're the wind on my wings. When I saw you, I knew you knew me too. Like a river that ran right through. When I listened to you, we both knew the simple know what. I'm yours tonight. Whoa, it's just right. Nothing that I wouldn't do. I want you to know I'm telling you so. Best of my days are with you. The troubles won't last. We'll make them pass. We'll find a way to see through. Let's take all our time. Oh, while you be mine. It's just what we're doing. I'm yours tonight. It's a beautiful night. Beautiful one I adore. Somewhere between midnight and a dream, we found what we're looking for. Well, I want you to know I'm telling you so. The rest of my days are with
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. Bravo. Thank you, Dave, so much for that. And I bet the wife really loved that when you wrote that for her.
you.
Oh, man, that's great. Thank you. Thank you. We'll try to get another one out of Dave before we end the show, but let's continue on here. Now, let me ask you, what studio are you using? Let's give a shout out.
Well, that was done in Chilingua. Bill Palmer was the producer down there, and like I said, we recorded in the Ghost Town Church, and the acoustics were just phenomenal in there.
I bet.
But most of my more produced music that I have on Spotify is we do that in Don, my guitar player's studio, and most of the parts are done right there in his home studio. And then we
Okay.
go out to Denton, and Bob Parr, which does our mixing, has a place where we can lay down some rhythm tracks and stuff with bass and drums and things like that. And that's where we do the mixing out there too. So between
Okay.
Don Miracle and Bob Parr, that's how we're getting my uh, my
Well, good.
new stuff done.
It's great to have great producers and engineers backing you up, and they do marvelous work. They do, they do. And your band, I mean, is incredible. The musicians you have in your band. Oh yeah,
Uh
great
huh.
guy, great musicians and stuff. So now, you said you're doing all of the PR work and stuff, or do you have somebody helping you?
I basically am self-managed, so I'm trying to handle it all. Handle the booking, handle the distribution, handle the marketing, handle the social media. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's
There's
a
a
it's
lot.
a lot of work. I tell you. Um,
If a label or promoter was to approach you, would you go with that, or do you want to stay independent?
well, I've read some books lately about that, and uh, you know, I have had I've had some labels tried to sign me, but they wanted me to sign away everything. It wasn't a good deal at all. I just avoided that. But I have read some things about that lately, and about a promoter that really worked hard on the social media side and worked on promoting the band. And then the band he was working with decided they wanted to be signed by a label, but then the label did everything backwards. They didn't do the promoting side of it. They put all the money into a video, and they didn't spend any time and money on promotion. So it really you really have to be careful who you trust to take over your stuff if you do want to get signed by somebody, and
Right.
be very wary about what you're getting into, because some of those labels don't know what they're doing.
They don't. And if you go back, I did a show on a label, and I didn't mention the name or anything, but there was a lot of very unhappy artists that were filing
Mhm.
complaints on that. You know,
Yeah.
it's sad that those people are still around. We dealt with it back in our day and stuff, and it's like, come on, people, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't treat us this way. It's not cool. No. Have you put your songs up for any awards or anything like that? Because you need to be getting some awards.
Well, I have I have a pretty large database. I send it out, and I'm sending them out, and I keep sending them, circulating out, and I'll resend them out a second time, because
Right.
sometimes people don't pay attention the first time. So, but
It's
I'm
get
putting them
their
out there as much as
attention.
I can. Hopefully, people find them and listen to them, and you just got to make the right connection with the right people. It's all about connections, and you're not
It
going to
is.
get connections unless you're continually working it. So.
You do have to work the circuit. You do have to work. Now, what is this Rambler radio show? Is that yours?
It is. It is. It just started out several years ago as an open mic,
Oh, okay.
but then it evolved. I just put a tag on it, put a name on it, and
Sure.
it just has evolved, into a full blown showcase. I bring some of the best DFW artists in to showcase in the middle, and I still have an open mic section, so anybody
All
can
right.
still come and be part of
Good.
the show. But now we're on our third venue. It's continued to where two other venues that we had it in have closed down, and
Oh,
now it's grown to a point where um, we're on a third venue, and so I bring the best artists in DFW in and do a feature part in the middle, and then we
that's
have
sweet.
what I call the first hour now. So I a kind of an invitation open mic for the first
Okay.
hour, and
Nice.
then we do a feature, and then we bring open it back up to open mic at the end. So and
Well,
I've got new followers on YouTube, and we post videos. So it's a way for me to help support the original music and the songwriter community here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. So that's what it's all about is trying to help these young artists, get going and have some exposure and
It is. It is.
help them.
Well, thank you. I appreciate what you do. We need more of you, and we need to do this for these people. Definitely. Great stuff.
Mhm.
So now I'm about ready to hit you with some fun questions. I'm gonna pick on you here a little bit, and we're gonna have some fun. All right. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We'll go to this one right here. Get two answers on this one, and we're gonna think around the world. Anywhere in the world, what stage would you like to perform on? Really want to perform on? Two.
Oh, I guess that stage that I saw Willie do his 90th birthday on. I guess that's out in California. I think maybe.
Could
And then
be.
I saw one the other day that there's a down in the bottom of some cave or something. I don't know what country it's in,
Oh,
but it seems like a stage down underground in some huge cavernous cave that's
wow.
supposed to be really really cool. So
That would be
I
cool.
don't know
Definitely.
where it is, but I saw it the other day.
I bet the acoustics would be great in a cave. Oh my
Yeah, yeah.
goodness. Oh, that would be really cool. All right. Let's go to my next question here. Two answers on this one. These are people. A person that's alive, a person that's passed away. Who does Dave really want to jump on a stage and perform with? Always what in your heart from a kid to now.
Oh well, of course, you know, it would be Dylan, I guess, if that's alive.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, I guess John Lennon. I guess if they weren't alive, I guess so.
Yeah, that's a great. I like that answer. I like that. I miss John Lennon definitely. What an artist! What an artist! Okay, this question here, I usually ask it to my rock bands, heavy metal bands, because it always happens to them. But I'm going to ask you, Dave, when you're on stage and performing, has there ever been any embarrassing moments on stage?
Uh, well, yeah, I was playing at a racetrack one time, and I think I had a little bit more to drink than I should have. And
Wait, I know that one.
I jumped off the stage and ran out in the audience area because I was on a wireless. And but when I
Oh,
tried to get back on the stage, it didn't work out so well. So
so well.
I think I took a tumble, and yeah.
Oh man, I thought you were going to say you jumped off the stage and ran without your clothes on and ran through the audience, but hey, you never know.
No, I wasn't pulling a flea. I wasn't pulling a flea, but
That's great. That's good. I like that. Now, this question here I love to hear. Um, when you get on a stage, you start performing, whether it's for two people, 100 people, 500 people, when you start strumming and singing your songs, and people turn around and move towards the stage to listen to you, maybe they start swinging, swaying, dancing a little bit. I don't know. But most of all, maybe you see them singing your songs back to you. Now, when you see any of this, how's it hit you in your heart, Dave? How's it make you feel?
well, there's no better feeling than that than connecting with people. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to connect with people. You're trying to have them connect with your music. And so whenever you see stuff like that, whenever you see people connecting and reacting and responding to what you're doing with your artists, it's there's no better feeling. That's why you do it.
Yeah,
It's such an amazing thing, music. The way it's just in the air, it just travels through the air. It's just a universal language. So,
it is.
so
Definitely. And you remember all of those moments, no matter how many they are. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. It's a great thing. Now, I know you're working with Dan and stuff, but have you or do you plan on doing any collaborations with other artists on their music or your music?
Well, you mean songwriting wise?
Songwriting and singing, maybe have a female join you or vice versa. I don't know.
Well, you know, I the Nashville thing is all about co-writing, and I've always and I've wanted to, and I've taken some camps and stuff about co-writing, but I don't know. I just never really have been a good co-writer. I'm very I don't know. The last one I tried to co-write with somebody. I sat down, went to a camp, with Anthony Smith, this big country writer and stuff, and sat and wrote a little song with one of the girls that was in the camp. But now I've taken that song and just totally rewrote it with all my stuff in it. I took her stuff out of it,
Took it all.
basically
Get out of
changed the
here.
idea, but I rewrote the song with my stuff. I don't know. I'm just not a very cooperative co-writer, I guess. Hasn't really worked out for me, except musically.
That's good. Well, at least you're honest about it. But who knows? It might happen there. That's great. Hey, we got time. You think we can get one more song from you, Dave?
Oh, sure, sure, sure. Okay.
Let's try it. Let's get
Let's
Dave to
see.
do one more song for us before we have to get out of here. This is great stuff.
Okay, I will.
Get set up
Got to get the right mouth organ.
here. The right harp. Yeah, yeah. Gotta have the right key.
All right, this one I wrote. It was a contest. I
Oh,
was given this subject,
okay.
lightning, and of course I won the contest because I was the
Not
only one that wrote the whole song around the concept instead of just sticking it in one line. But
okay.
I think it came out pretty good.
Good deal. Here's it.
Well, you might be just what the doctor ordered. You might be what I've been trying to find. Someone let my head. I don't have to worry about what's going on instead. Well, come on over here by the window. Let that glass of wine wind you down. We don't even need to talk about it. Let the world go on round and round. And let the world go on round and round. You might be a lightning in a bottle. Oh, you can let it out there. You might be a lightning in a bottle. Baby, just for me. Well, I ain't too much on casual conversation, so you may not know exactly how I feel. Well, there's nothing I would do make it happen for you. As you know, I need you. Well, there ain't nowhere we're supposed to be tonight. That moon, shadows falling down all this just right. We don't even need to talk about it. Let the world go on around. Yeah, let the world go on around. It might be a lightning in a bottle. Oh, oh, look and let it out. Yes. It might be a lightning in a bottle. There is gonna be. You might be a lightning in a bottle. Oh, we're gonna let it out, yes. Feel happy, my life never bubble. Praise of
Oh yeah, Double Bravo there. Hey, I'm liking that. Oh yeah, definitely. That's great stuff. So everybody, well, hey, we got to tell them, Dave, where can they find your music? Tell them.
Well, if you go to davekristen.com, make sure you spell that right. It's Ten, Chris 10, and it'll take you to any of my platforms, to YouTube or Spotify or all the platforms anywhere, Instagram, all that stuff everywhere. But
Okay,
by DaveChristen.com, you can find everything there. It'll direct you to any of my other platforms. My Facebook page is very updated with my calendars and a lot of posts and a lot of pictures and stuff. It's probably my most active social media.
okay,
Um,
great.
and I keep the website up too. So,
Well, good. Thank you, Dave. And everybody out there, make sure you check out Dave's music and where he's playing. Go check him out, man, because this is great stuff. Great stuff. Couple more questions for you before we get out of here, Dave. Future
yeah.
wise, next 5 years, where do you want to be with your music? Where do you see yourself?
Well, like I said, I'm expanding my Texas wide swath of playing, of course, and expand it out into Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Tennessee, and the region.
There you go.
Eventually, it'd be nice to do some other major cities. My son's out in L.A. He's a sound engineer out in L.A.
Hey, really
and
nice.
so maybe he can hook me up with some gigs out on the left
Let's
coast.
get you
But
on the script.
that's the plan, is to spend more time and more energy on trying to circulate out and expand out, doing
Good,
shows and stuff, and continue to write and produce music.
good. Are you planning on doing more with the band, or do you want to kind of split it half and half, or do you want to do more, solo stuff with Dan? I mean,
Well, I would love to do more with the band, but the venues I think are struggling right now. They're
they
just
are.
they still don't have the clientele that they used to. I think, and so it's hard for them to come up with the money to keep paying bands. So
It
I
is.
think that's why the duo does so well, is
Yeah,
because it's kind of a scaled down thing. But I would love to. I've got great musicians in the band. I would love to get the band out more, but um, keep trying to book it. But it's just the duo does better.
yeah, I agree. It's unfortunately COVID really kicked their butts, and a lot of them closed, and it's still affecting us. It still is. It's hard for us musicians.
Yeah, I think there's still a percentage of the audience, yeah, that just well, and the economy right now too, with just you know disposable income is just really low right now. Everything's so high that
It's crazy.
people can't get out. So it's
No,
it's
no. It is tough times right now, unfortunately. But thank God the internet allows us to check all our music out and see the artist. So that's a blessing right
right.
there. Right there.
Yeah.
Last question I have before we get out of here. What advice do you have to these young kids out there that want to do what we do, Dave?
Well, practice, practice, practice. It doesn't matter. There's a quote that I saw that Albert King said to Steve Ray Vaughan. Said, "The better you get, the harder you work." And so that's really my philosophy now. Is it's the better the more I do, the better I get, the better my songs are, the more I practice, the more I play, the harder I work at it, because you just really have to work really hard. You
You do.
cannot leave the business side alone. You have to
No,
do the business side. Nobody's gonna come find you. There's too much competition. You got to be the one putting yourself
exactly.
out there so people can find you.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. And be yourself, do your thing. Don't listen to all the criticism around you because there's going to be a lot of BS out there. And
Oh,
like you
absolutely.
mentioned, yeah, and like you mentioned early, you're going to run into people that got the big smile that are going to offer you the world, and really they're going to screw you. And
Yeah.
we both have run into
Hmm.
that. So
Yep.
yeah, just
Yep.
be careful in the business and just have fun and enjoy what you do. That's definitely.
Yep.
Dave Christian's in the house. Dave, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for coming on the No Cover TV podcast today. Thank you, my friend.
Well,
Had a
thank
great
you, Big Alpha. Yeah, I really appreciate you. Thank you for what you
time.
do,
It
helping
was a lot of
artists
fun,
and
my
help
friend. And I
expose
want you back in 6
your music out there.
Thank you. And I want you back 6 months or a year. I want to see where you're at, and I want to hear some new music. All right.
We'll do it. We'll do it. You got it.
All right. Let's do it, my friend. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here. Check out the future shows. We got a lot of brands coming in from all over the world, all genres and ages. We can't wait till that 11-year-old comes on. Oh, and Dave, what do you think about these 8, 10, 11, 14-year-olds that are pretty much kicking our
You
butts?
know, I'm envious a little bit of those prodigies, the people that have all that natural ability. I would stay a million miles away from a singing contest because I don't have I don't have that kind of voice. I have to work with what I've got, but I'm envious of those people with all that natural talent. But
Right.
it's not going to do you any good if you don't take care of the business side. So.
That's right. Listen to Dave there. All right, Dave, we're going to get out of here. Check out everybody, Dave Christian's music and where he's playing. Go check him out. Say hi to him. Get his autograph and everything. All right, Dave, we're going to get out of here. Say peace to everybody. Anybody you want to say hi, hey to, it's your show.
Oh, hello to the world out there. Anybody, I appreciate you. Come listen to my music. Send me a message.
There we go. Send Dave a message. All right, everybody, we're out of here. You have a good one. Peace. I'll talk to you soon, Dave. I'm going to get that link right out to you. All right, brother? Peace.
Okay.